Don't focus on goals, focus on the systems. The systems are what will create the results. The systems are what will keep you accountable. What is up, vibrant people? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Keyshawna, and on this channel we strive to become the creme de la creme versions of ourselves, push past our limiting beliefs, and become a woman on purpose. So if that's your aim, and if it sounds like something that you'd be interested in, just go ahead and subscribe and just join the family. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about reinventing ourselves. And as you can see, I decided to take this one out in nature. I am here at a beautiful park, and it's very empty here, so it's like so serene. It's nice, to say the least. Self-growth is something that's, let's say, never ending. You know, if you're not growing, then you're stuck. And it's important to constantly grow. There's always something new that you can improve on. So let's start off with, what does reinventing yourself mean? Reinventing yourself for me is basically honing in on the version of you that you feel like God is calling you to be. And then taking the necessary steps to becoming that person. There's something inside of us that when we tap into it, when we birth, I like to call it the spiritual womb. When we birth what's inside of us and we unleash it on the world, that's when you'll feel more like your best self. And the Bible clearly outlines our identity. In Ephesians 1 verse 3, it says that we are blessed. In John 3 verse 16, it says that we are loved. In Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, it says that we're courageous. And there is this uneasiness that we feel when we're not fully walking in that truth. This is the uneasiness that shows up when we have to go to a 9-to-5 that we're not passionate about. When we see people out with friends that we don't have. When we go to places and events and we see people operating in their purpose and we don't even know what we're doing tomorrow. That's the uneasiness that I'm talking about. And that will never go away until we take the time to acknowledge it. Not just be aware that it's there, but deal with it. And the process of addressing that uneasiness is what we call reinventing yourself, or what I call reinventing yourself. So the first thing that I did when I made the decision that I wanted to change my life is I asked myself, who do I want to become? You're the only one who can change your life. I don't care how unrealistic the goal sounds. You have the power to achieve it. It's all about what steps are you going to take to achieve it. So I asked myself, who do I want Keyshawna to be? And I took limitations out of my mind. Growing up, we're told to be realistic. And God made us in a way where our minds are meant to be creative. Our minds are meant to think big. And these limitations that we put on ourselves, it's basically like self-sabotage. We hinder ourselves from becoming so much more. And thing that I saw for myself was not having to work a 9-to-5. And there's nothing wrong with working a 9-to-5. Some people love 9-to-5s. They love having that system that's already made for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are some people, like myself, who likes to have control over my time. I still work my 9-to-5, but I have created systems that eventually will help me to achieve that vision for myself. And that takes me to step number 2, and that is creating systems that will help you to achieve the goals. When I speak to younger people, I always tell them, don't set goals, or not don't set goals, but don't focus on goals. Focus on the systems. The systems are what will create the results. The systems are what will keep you accountable to achieving these goals. So what I did is I took each intention for myself, and for each intention I created a system. So for example, one of my goals was to start my YouTube channel, just start and not try to be a perfectionist, because I am a perfectionist at heart. I wanted to start this channel for a long time, but I was just waiting for everything to be perfect. And the system that I created is that, of course, I would post 2 YouTube videos per week. And at first that didn't seem realistic for me because, as I said, I work a 9 to 5. But when you want to achieve something, you have to make it happen. You have to find a way to create that balance in life until you have more time. So the goal was to post 2 videos every week and post them regardless of the imperfections. And what I do to achieve that and to keep me consistent is that on Sundays, I'll create a video for Wednesday. Yeah. On Sunday, I'll create a video for Wednesday. But I have 2 vlogs in advance. So the video that I create on Sunday is for the Wednesday in the next 2 weeks, if that makes sense. And then for my growth talk videos, which I post on Sunday, I take a day out of the month or 2 days out of the month to create 2 videos in each day. And I'll schedule those days a month in advance. Now, I usually just take 1 day and create all 4 videos, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So I dedicate 2 days out of the previous month to create the videos for the following month. So that's the system that I have incorporated to help me to reach my YouTube goals. And yeah, that's what I mean. Like, creating the goal is all right, but if you don't have the systems to keep you accountable and to make the goal worth working for or realistic, then it makes no sense. So create systems, not goals. The third thing that I did was I created a fund for my systems. When I started, I was doing something called the Single Girl Bucket List Challenge. And basically what it was is that I would get out the house and I would try something that I've never done before. And people would ask me, girl, where you get the money to do all of this? And the difference is, I'm not richer than anybody else. I prioritize my goals. I prioritize my system. So I have a separate account that I dedicate for doing these ventures. I'm gonna do a more in-depth video on this. I'm not the person to say, oh, I'll put $100 per check in this account. I separate it by percentages. So yeah, for my systems account, I'll put 20% of my check in that. That's embarrassing. But yeah, I'll dedicate 20% of everything I get paid, because I get paid weekly. So I'll put 20% of my check in that account automatically. And it's easy to do. You can just set it up. If you have a 9 to 5, you can put it on your, I think it's the W-4 form. They allow you to like separate how they pay you. So yeah, that's what I did. But it's important. It's important not just to have these goals or set these goals, but also to have the money to help you achieve these goals. Some of these goals, they ain't no free goals. These are expensive goals. So yeah, you have to set aside the expenses to see it come to fruition. The next thing I did is I became passionate about something. When I first started my YouTube channel, and I haven't been on YouTube for long, consistently, But when I first started my YouTube channel, I was kind of all over the place. I didn't really know what I was doing or the order of how I'm gonna do things. And it's important to just start. That's really what it comes down to. Once you start, you'll figure it out. So yeah, like, I started the channel and I realized that I'm actually passionate about this. This is something that I like to do. And I started incorporating my own gifts and talents and things that I'm passionate about in the YouTube channel. So I challenge you, find something to be passionate about. Because if you can become passionate about something and it makes you happy, if you can learn to earn money from it, girl, you've hit gold, okay? And being passionate about something, it makes you want to improve all the time. Improve on your skills, improve on whatever it is that you're investing your time into. As I said, when I started this channel, I barely knew what I was doing. Like, sometimes my camera wasn't even focused and I was here videoing. But you learn as you go, and I have so much more to learn, but I feel more confident than I was before. These flies. Become passionate about something and invest your time in improving on that skill. Let me hurry up before the rain comes down. As you can see, like, there's no more sun in the sky. So, yeah. Something else that I wanted to say is be so good at something that they can't ignore you. Improve your skills so much that your skill will speak for you and your passion will speak for you. And then the last thing that you want to keep in mind, this is not necessarily a step, but just a reminder, and it's to just put one foot in front of the other. The problem with us is when we set these goals, we think about the whole staircase. But what you want to do is think about the next step. You make one step, and then you think about the next one. You make the next step. And eventually, you're going to get to the end goal. You're going to get to the finish line. But instead of worrying about the finish line, worry about the steps to get there. One foot in front of the other. Take your time. Take your time. Not everyone will achieve the goal at the same time. Like, we all have different goals. They all have different time frames. When you incorporate God's will into your plan, it's like a whole different ball game. So just give yourself grace. Put one foot in front of the other, and you can do this. Like, I'm rooting for you. We're all rooting for each other. You've got this. And there's nothing that you can't do as long as you're passionate about it, as long as you invest the time and prioritize it. So just keep that in mind and go after your goals, go after your dreams, and reinvent yourself. Be someone that you are proud of. And that's all I'm going to say, because a lot of things are happening around me and I'm ready to go home.